All
Hello,
right.
everybody. How are you? Welcome to this Coffee and Crypto Radix Talk. But I saw that there is now a Radix Talk account on Twitter, so I cannot use that anymore. But that's how I was using these spaces. So in this time, we're gonna be speaking with Docs of Radix. He's the founder of EDGE. It's we're gonna learn about this project, but we're gonna not just speak about that. We're gonna be speaking about different things that is happening, is going on Radix itself. A lot of things going on this December. So let's unpack a little bit all the things, all the latest and greatest that had happened on the previous last two couple of weeks. I think a lot of things has gone. Some people feel wrong on the wrong direction, but I mean at the end is the it is what it is, and if you like or if you love Radix, then you have to take it, right? So welcome to our show, Docs of Radix. How are you?
Good, man. How are you doing?
I'm sensational. I'm very good. Just doing the second video of the day, so I'm
Amazing.
super happy to have you here. It's good also to speak with a face, because sometimes when you're speaking with different projects, uh, most of the people doesn't want to show the face. So
Yeah.
sometimes when we do a YouTube, and you see like. Here is the screen where I see you, and you see just the let's say an image, so it's not the same feeling, right? So and I'm
No, it's
glad
not
that
the
you
same. That
yeah,
is why, like, I like doing the spaces with Zombie because I feel like
yeah,
we don't even like. That's the one person where I'm like, I don't need it. Like, we just get along very well.
yeah,
So, but I understand where it's like, if you don't know the person, it's like, okay, I can't tell by the reaction of things, and yeah, I get that, man.
yeah. Very nice guy, Zombie as well.
Hmm.
I already had it here on YouTube as well, and it was a very nice chat.
Yeah,
So
that was before he did the game, right? So that was all like the hype leading up to that.
yeah, it
Yeah.
was the day that he received the game, because we were doing the discussion, the interview, and he said like, man, I received the game just a minute before we start the live, and he was dying for the live to finish so that he could go
You
and,
could
and
play it. Yeah. Have you played it
yeah.
yet?
No,
No,
I
it's
had
actually
not.
fun. It's really fun.
It's already live, because I think it
Oh yeah.
was just for a few people, but I don't know if it's
It
already live.
was at first, yeah, but now they got it live, and every day they have daily prizes. So they have the
Nice.
daily scoreboard.
Yeah,
And fuck, some people are really good, man. I
I
cannot catch
will.
up.
I'm gonna try it. Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna try it. I was speaking also with Moxie Games. They
Mhm.
were gonna be here on the channel, but I think it was on that same period of time when the game was just getting released.
Yeah,
So I guess it's gonna happen in the next couple of weeks to discuss as well. I think they have a lot of things to say on the Rix ecosystem and overall. So yeah, it's gonna
yeah.
be a fun one as well. So first of all, who are you, guy? Who are you, man? Who introduce yourself?
Yeah. Okay. So I guess you wanted to talk about like how I started in Radix and how
Yeah,
Edge
yeah.
started.
Ha-
So
When did you
um,
start on crypto in general, and then on
oh,
Radix?
in crypto, I mean, it's been a while. I'm 28 now, so maybe like when I was 19 or so, and I kept missing. I remember my buddy telling me about Bitcoin when it was at I think 1200, and then it jumped up to like 25, and I said, I'll wait till it goes back down to 2, and then it went to 3, and I said, no, never buying this, and that was a mistake. But
Yeah.
yeah, and then so that's kind of where I got my start, and then the same buddy got me into XRD. He was one of the original coin, whatever you'd call it, C2. No, I'm missing the word.
Founders or
No, no, just initial like buyers,
okay,
initial coin offering ICO.
okay,
Um,
with you.
but yeah, he got me into this, and then eventually along the line, when we started to first get our meme craze going on crypto or on Radix
Hmm.
during the first cycle there was just a lot of scams, and being as it is Radix a little bit slower, it was easier to sort of catch which scams were going to be scams most likely, and just kind of alert people. So I started this little group called Safe Meming. I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's
Yep.
still out there. Um, it only gets crazy when things start getting crazy on Radix, which is good. That's what it's
Yeah.
there for, right? Not a lot of moderating needed there, but eventually I was like, I kind of want to start my own and see if I can do it right. And You can't. There's no right way to do it. There's no right way to make a coin. I tried
No.
to perfect as I could. I tried to do like a vesting period,
Okay.
and it had its pros and its cons. In the end, I still got a lot of people who initially bought and they're still in, and I'm hoping that with what's coming, I can really make them some good money. So that's sort of how I got the start, but I can leave the launch pad for later and what's gonna be coming about.
Yeah, we're going to be speaking about the your project, how
Yeah,
all your experience through it, and what it is, what is
yeah.
different, and all
I
those
guess I
things.
could also speak
Yeah.
on a little more that has transpired, I guess. So
Sure.
we started a buyback system with our validator.
Nice.
We're just about to hit 9 million staked to the validator again, which would be awesome.
9 million
And
six are these.
yeah,
Nice.
9 million XRD staked. I think we're at like 8.8 right now, but we used to be at 9 something, and then when everything went down, we lost a bit, but it's coming back. We have a really great APY. I don't know what it is at this moment, but the thing is that most likely what's going to happen is because we have a certain amount of edge that's set out for those rewards. And what's
Hmm.
probably going to happen is if the website does very well, then that APY is going to skyrocket. And that's good, but also bad because inflation on the coin. So
Yeah.
what's most likely going to happen is depending on how the website does, if the website brings in a crap ton of revenue, then I'll be able to supplement and exceed what you would actually get from the validator buyback system
Okay.
and the rewards there. And I'll be able to use that to give you even more, but it'll just be straight up in XRD rather than Edge. And then I'll be able to figure out what to do with that extra Edge at that point, whether it
That's good.
be some sort of huge airdrop that kind of goes to enough wallets so it doesn't affect the price, or if it's going to be a honey situation where we sell for a discount and then only sell half and then use the other half to add liquidity and lock that forever, or just burning. But I'm not crazy about the last one. I'd rather do like
Yeah.
a over the counter situation. But
That's a good
yeah,
problem to have.
yeah.
Yeah. So right now, when anybody stake on your pool, uh, you have. I mean, I'm staking with Wowo, also with Hit, and how how they work is that they have 100 fees. So
Hmm.
you don't get back any XRD, but you get the coin. Is the same with your pool?
So it used to be 100, and then we dropped it to 50. So now
Okay.
you get half of the XRD that you would with a regular validator, and then the rest is supplemented in Edge. So,
Nice.
um, yeah, again, I don't know what the APY is right now. At one point, not too long ago, the APY was like accumulatively maybe like 26%. It was
Wow.
wild. But yeah, honestly, that's at the current prices, right? So I think if we do like even just a times 4 from here, the APY would be stupid, absolutely
Yeah,
stupid.
yeah, super amazing. As the culture on Radix is, we're super early, so
Oh yeah,
I guess pretty much every project or most of the projects are gonna do very well on the next couple of
yeah,
months, and I'm thinking at least the first half of next year, and then who knows what happens.
yeah,
If you've been here for a long time, you know about the cycles and how
yeah.
they behave. So
And
yeah.
if anybody doesn't, I mean, if you look at the last couple of years or just last like the whole history of crypto, what most likely will happen, I think it's going to go one of two ways. Either Bitcoin is done pumping, which a large portion of people do think that. I personally don't think it will. I think it's going to keep going. Um, so if it stops, that means that this is the start of the alt craze, and then all that money is going to trickle into Ethereum and XRD. Well, hopefully XRD, but Solana,
Oh
ADA.
yeah,
Um, not financial advice, but and then the other option is Bitcoin doesn't stop and it keeps going for a little bit longer. Just like last year, I think it went till like almost end of February, and
yeah.
then we saw the trickle. So, and then we'll have a couple months of alt craze. So yeah,
That's
build your
gonna be
XRD bag
beautiful,
until
man.
then.
I'm
Yeah,
waiting for that moment since a long time ago. Just been accumulating because yeah,
oh yeah,
it's gonna happen. I mean, unless something super strange and very uh, like a black swan or something happens, that
Yeah.
I knock on the woods that it doesn't. But I mean, is there to happen. And Radix right now is on a very good situation. I mean,
Yeah.
I like charts. I do TA. It's looking. I know most of the people is not feeling that way because it's not been performing since a long
Yeah.
time, and it show like a little power and then it's dropping. But I see the chart and I just like it because there's another chart right
To
now,
me,
for
I'm like, I'm
instance.
accumulating as much XRD as I can
Yeah,
so
right
that
now
when it does
buying
pop.
Bitcoin is like, oh no, thank you. It's super high, right? And
Yeah.
right is
Yeah.
super low. So bet
And if you're
on.
in Radix, you also know a little bit of, like, if you're outside of Radix, all you see is a shit chart, right?
Yeah,
But if you're in Radix, um, and you can deal with the all the like
pain.
delays and stuff, the pain, and you know the certain things that are supposed to come, that are promised to come, then you're like, okay, there's a lot of opportunity here, a
Yeah,
lot of opportunity. Yeah, and you were saying, I think one of the things you wanted to talk about was like, if there's new people coming to Radix, what should they look for, and where should they invest?
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
there's honestly anything in the top 20, anything in the top like 30. There's so many good coins out there, so many great founders that have been
yeah.
around. But what I would say is Radix is in a position right now where the community is small and
Mhm.
it's slow. It's not it's not so quick that you have to be milliseconds into being the first person to see a tweet to catch something.
It's not a
There was
Solana right now.
Yeah, exactly. Solana, it's like you gotta have insider information, all this kind of crap. If you're on Radix and you're just following all the Twitter profiles and you see something, you have like 12 hours at least to
Mhm.
invest before any impact happens to the price, because that's how this network works right now. So it's, if you're a new investor, I would say just get on, keep looking,
Mhm.
buy a good dip from one of the coins that you know has been around for a long time. Research the founders and research who they are, research the community that's there. And then the last thing that I'll say is that you like, I don't want to shade Raccoon, so also use Raccoon. It's just it hasn't been as crazy yet as really, where there's a little bit more opportunity on really. But get on really, figure out who the core people in the community are, and just watch, because you can see their domains. Some people might try to trick you. They'll buy a fake domain that looks kind of similar or is the name of somebody popular in the ecosystem. But just like figure that out, research the wallets, and do that, because there's so much opportunity there,
Mhm.
and there's going to be coins that are going to pop up. Um, I'll talk later about opportunities with our launchpad that's coming,
Okay.
because there's going to be some really really good opportunities, and you're going to have this feeling of FOMO, but you're also going to be able to get in very early before other people, if you're there and you're using the feature, or just watching the feature that we have. You'll be able to have time to invest before anybody else does, or at least be one of the first person to. um, so there's going to be a lot of opportunity. There's going to be really cool, a couple cool projects that are going to pop up right away, but you're still going to have time, and I'll be able to explain that in the future. But um, if we move back to really fun, I'll tell you, I started out with 60K XRD
Okay.
when I first got into this, and it plummeted, it went up, it plummeted, and then I started this meme coin, and I used almost every XRD I had to keep it going. I did not make any money. I have still not made any money off Edge. That is not the goal. I really, I think I'm addicted to running it now, and it hurts me. And then sometimes I can get in and just do more work, but I'm not going to leave. That's an addiction at this point.
Yeah.
But I started with that. I almost used every bit that I had. And then I started getting a little bit of XRD from running the validator, because I get a subsidy. So just a few XRD here and there that I could start investing and really playing around with. And then delay came along. And part of it is I got lucky, but part of it is I was just looking at really fun, and I was watching and watching. I got in before Constantine got in. So before
Nice.
Constantine made that 20K XRD buy, I bought, and I'll tell you, I turned, this is the craziest trade I've ever done. I turned, and this isn't a brag, this is telling you that you can
No,
make a
it's
lot
yeah,
on XRD right now from nothing. I turned 1,000 XRD into, I think, what is almost 300,000 XRD right now. Like, that's insane. That is insane.
yeah.
So like, and you don't have to be a good investor to do that. You just have to be watching really.fun and looking for those things, because there's so much opportunity there right now. It's not as quick as Solana, not yet. So
But it's gonna be
accumulate
at
that
some
XRD.
point. At,
It will, it will. But
yeah,
I'm telling you, there's so much opportunity right now as a new investor to really get a good bag of XRD. Because
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, and I mean people that is not really on the. I wouldn't say only on the right ecosystem, but on the ecosystem itself of crypto. When you hear this type of, I turn this into this, and they people just don't believe, right? It's like you're
no,
crazy, get
I
out of
didn't
here.
believe
But
it. I
I
was like,
mean, we
fuck.
we've lived through it, and I've lived. I've been here for 7 years or 8 years, and I believe that, so I know it
Yeah,
happens. And yeah, it's amazing to have those type of opportunities. And right now, most of Radix is like that. So
it's
it's
yeah.
super nice because if
There's
you go to
huge
other
opportunity
chains,
for it.
it's a few places where you can find those type of things. But in
Yeah,
Radix, is pretty much I would say everything. Well,
yeah.
not everything.
Well, for
There's
instance,
always
there's
issues, but
two coins you could look at right now. There's your coin, right? So obviously there's the whole debacle, like of everything that happened with
yeah,
that, right? But it's sitting super low. And you can look at the whole history of everything. And then you can look at you and you can see that you're still pushing and pumping this, even though it's gone down to this. So that says a lot to me where I'm like, okay, this to me is a really good investment. I need to buy more CTO at this moment because he's not going anywhere as far as I can tell. Obviously not financial
oh,
advice, but um and it's a super low price. So that's like one of my next buys is CTO. And then there's also Duck. So
Doc, yeah,
I've said over and over, Duck is a great buy. I bought it again when it was really low, and I told people for weeks, and then boom, it shot up, and I sold too early. But then now it's even lower than what I sold for. Um,
yeah,
and now this is a perfect opportunity. Again, not financial advice, but if you're a new investor, you go, okay, Duck's been around for a while. They CTO'd. The
yeah,
people who CTO'd are core members of the community. They've gone as far as reaching out to Aaron Guyett, who's our developer, Dan Coin's developer, and now Duck's developer. And they're building this really cool casino type platform that's going to allow you to kind of be a super big degen, but it's just gambling to the max, right? And they've
nice.
got this whole setup for it, and everybody through the community knows. And you know it's pumped to 300K market cap before. You know it's sitting at a low market cap. So it's like, if it pumped to that just with the CTO, what is it going to do with an actual real website that
Yeah,
has real utility to it? So like also that's a great opportunity for a buy right there. So that's something that I want to rotate some money into, that and CTO. And then even just a 3 times off those, it's like, boom, you've got more, you've got more, you've got more. It's like so
yeah,
much opportunity.
so much. I mean, it's super amazing right now how low most of the projects are. A lot of projects that I've been speaking with different founders on this month, last month, and there's a lot of good projects. I mean, your project itself, Edge, it's I checked yesterday on the afternoon. Market cap is 190K. It's super low. I mean, it's
Yeah.
really, man. I mean, look at the all the projects on different chains.
Yeah.
I don't know, 10 million, 50 million, 100 million. So it's
Super
below
low.
a million. It's super, super low. And with the things that you're going to be telling us, I want to put some of my XRD also on your pool as well, because I want to
Yeah.
get some cut of edge. The liquidity also is looking very good. 46K it was yesterday with
46K. Hell yeah.
190K market cap. So it's a very good liquidity.
46K.
It's been
Yeah.
on
That's
the
about
market.
25%. Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, super. I mean, most
Yeah.
of most of the liquidity is in the 10% ish, so it's very nice
Mm,
liquidity. And that also speak about the community, that it's apporting liquidity to because they believe in the project. It's been here for since April, so it's you've been through all the bad times or the
yeah,
worst times, I would say, because I think Rex is just been going down for several months, but at some point we lost the key support, right? The 0.038, 0.04. And since
yeah.
then, it's like,
It's
oh
just
man,
been
this is gonna be, it's gonna die, but
yeah.
it's not gonna die.
I
It's gonna
think I
perform.
think we'll be okay.
Yes.
I think the major news that I'm looking for first is and maybe it's already out there and I just haven't seen it, but right now, obviously, the big delay for the hyperscale was the fact that they needed to implement one more feature for the major um, cloud service,
Yeah.
and I don't know if they've made a tweet yet or a message out talking about how long until that feature is estimated to be ready.
They
So
just said first quarter, right? So
first quarter, okay, yeah. So hopefully it's like within the first month. So
I
within
hope so. Yeah.
that's what I think a lot of people are hoping. But I think that they're best not to say exactly a date yet, because if they do, it's
And they
gonna fuck
fail,
up the prices. Yeah, yeah.
then delay is gonna
Also,
keep pumping.
on top of that, I think that the obviously we know about the is it called the CIB? What is it called? The CI
The
this
CBDCs?
CBDC. Yeah. So we know about that, and they're working with the Indian government, I guess, and
Yeah.
they're creating that. But the big thing that they have to do is they have to create a um, pretty much an app for it to work, right? And for them
Yeah.
and set it all up perfectly. So they should be, and I'm sure they are, but be putting as much effort into that as they possibly can. And they should also be, they've got a lot of great devs, but there's a lot of great devs on the network now, like reaching out to people like Aaron and Tamon, is it? And just
Mhm.
getting as many devs on it, because I'm sure they could reach out, use some of the grant money, and just push that as quickly as they can, because that would be
Yeah.
super beneficial, super
Oh, yeah.
beneficial,
Yeah. A lot
especially
of
with the
eyes.
hyperscale. That'll be great. So I don't know, we'll see, but I'm sure they know what they're doing, and they got to deal with everybody yelling at them every day.
Well, the community seems to think that they don't, right?
No,
Because
I know.
they always say it's very bad marketing and all that
It's
stuff.
hard, yeah. The
But
thing is, they either really know what they're doing and they just can't tell us everything, or they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
yeah, it could be
Hopefully, it's the
either of
former.
those. But I mean, the technology is there and the fundamentals is there, and I tend to compare pretty much with Bitcoin. I mean, whenever we are on a bear market and you see the price going down, down, down of Bitcoin, and then you start seeing a lot of news, and not just the news, but the miners, the amount of miners that you see that it keeps growing, 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 growing. So the fundamentals are getting bigger, the price is going
Mhm.
down. It's a divergence. At some point, the price is gonna pump to the fundamentals, and it's the
Yeah.
same thing that is happening here. So it's it's very good opportunity, I would say, to
Mhm.
really make good bucks. I mean, at the end, as I tend to play on the CTO account, we're here for the tech, but we're here to make money as well. I mean,
Yeah.
we
Anybody
we
who says they're just here for
yes.
the tech is they're here for
Uh,
the tech to make the money.
Well,
Oh,
I would say maybe some guys, for instance, Andres, the dev that we're working with on CTO, that we're going to be starting to do some, I would think between 5 to 10 videos starting tomorrow to teach. Well, I'm not, I'm just going to be an student. He's going to be showing us how to start on S crypto and then
oh,
going
really?
from there. So that's going to be very good. And the plan is to show some of the features that we are going to be adding to CTO. We want to do some developments and to show in the videos how to make them. So I think
Yeah.
that's going to be very helpful. It's going to be in Spanish because he's from Spain,
Mm.
but I'm going to translate. There are some good AI features right now that translate the not just the subtitles but also the voice.
Yeah.
So to have it for both communities, because I think that's going to be very good. And he, for instance, I interviewed him I think like a month ago. I think that we connected very well, and he's helping helping me, helping the project. I asked him, hey guy, let me give you a percent or something, let me give you something, and he's like, no, 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 I'm here just to help because I want Drikes to grow. So
Yeah.
not everybody, I would say
You
there
hear a
is
lot of
some
that in the
people
Radix
that are
community.
here
It's
for the tech, really.
They really are. There's a lot of people here who just want to, like, I think in the end they do have a large bag of Radix, so they just want Radix
Yeah.
to do well, so they want to put as much effort, and they don't care about getting more. They're already happy. Um, but it's it's amazing because you hear that so much where you're just like, hey, like this, and I'll
Yeah.
give you this, and they go, no, no, like it's not a problem, like I don't care, and you're like, really, like you're taking a day out of your like your time and you're doing it. It's really nice. It's really nice to hear that all the
Yes.
time. Yeah, yeah,
So, so tell me more about your project, man. How
yeah.
did it?
About
So you tell me a little bit how it started or why it started, but give me
mhm.
more background on history and how it's been since you start. All the highs and lows.
Yeah,
I mean, there is a
yeah,
lot of things that happen when you run a project, and I compare it a little bit with my YouTube channel. That there is ups and downs and a lot of things. And through my history investing on crypto, at some point, you don't really know me, but
yeah.
in the last bull market, I was able to quit my job, and I was out
Oh
for of
wow.
the regular job for 2 years and a half, and then I made a lot of stupid mistakes, that just doing things that I told my audience, hey, do not do this,
You
and
do it. Yeah,
so
it's
I
hard.
lost
It's
pretty
hard.
much all the money. I have to go back to work for 2 years, and I just quit. Well, my last day was last Friday, because the best time for crypto is the next 6 months,
Yeah,
I think.
yeah.
So I need to be here full time to really make it worth it.
Oh
So
yeah.
I
I
think it's
because of
something, I
the
mean, running a break is something like that you have to be super, super, no,
oh
I
yeah.
have to do make
Oh,
this right,
it's
I
so hard,
have to
man.
make
Like
this happen. So how it's been with you?
it's been a lot. It's been a lot. So obviously it just started out with the meme, but then I don't have like a big fancy job or anything. I work as a server. It's nice because I can get in and out, make some good cash. I don't have to work 40 hours a week, sort of deal. But it's tiring,
Hmm.
And then I'm also an actor, so auditioning and
Oh,
all that.
nice.
But luckily enough, the last couple months have been so slow across the board for acting and auditions, at least here in Toronto. So that's been beneficial for me because it gives me more time to work on everything online. And then
So do
yeah,
you have
so
any like movie or something that we can go and check?
I do.
You
um,
don't want to tell?
yeah, nothing crazy. But if you do look up me on IMDb, you will see one that's called Super Dicks. It's not a porno. it's it's this project that I gotta roll on, and then they rewrote the entire script. They gave me more lines, and it's just the most. It's one of those sets that you're on that you're just like, this is like, what is going on here? Like it's not as professional. Guy with a lot of money trying to make his passion project, but yeah, that one was fun. And then he's put me on another one of his things, just a tiny little role, but none of that's actually come out yet. I'm sure within the next year. But then a couple of little hallmarks here and there. So if you look up Two for the Win,
Two
I'm
for the
this
win.
guy named I'm this guy named Trevor, and this was like my first acting gig I ever got, and I was just super psyched to get on set and do it. But it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
It was
I guess
cool. It was
yes.
Yeah, it was cool being on set and like seeing some. There was like a girl from Blue Bloods there, and or Rookie Blue, and then a guy from 90210. It was just cool working with people and getting to know the industry more. Um, but yeah, like I said, it's been nice where there's just not that many auditions. It's kind of been really, I've been lucky to not have auditions right now, because what sort of happened is I found Aaron, and I had a really, I would call a great idea that I wanted to get out, and he was completely on board, and we started doing that. But obviously, getting a developer isn't super cheap, and there's a lot of work that goes into it. So my workload has increased in the background. And I've also had to support myself while making this money. Um,
Mhm.
and like I've told the community, I haven't taken any money from Edge or anything like that. It's all this, the how I'm building this website is all money that I've made through serving. So yeah, so I've been able to do that. It's just been a huge workload though, and nice.
Yeah.
And we
What is
at
your
June look for
sorry,
two for the
sorry.
win.
The
My
pool, how
name,
is it called?
the what?
The pool for staking the XRDs?
Oh, for staking XRD is it's called Edge Club.
Edge
Oh
Club. Okay,
yeah, let me find the.
just to put it here. All right.
We can put. I'll put my link tree in there too. Makes it easier, so you can get you can stake your Edge. We got a website for that. You can stake your
Ah,
XRD on
nice.
a validator. Yeah. So I will say though, I am a shit founder. So the problem with me is I take Vyvanse. So Vyvanse is a focusing drug, and I get so excited. I get an idea and I get so excited before it's actually come to fruition. And if I'm even saying that word right, but yeah, I get so excited and then I start talking about it way too early
Mm,
before anything's ready. So
yeah.
that's kind of my worst quality, I'd say. But because I've stuck with this so long, we're in a position where, first off, we have this little game, this Telegram game. It's still being made, but it's pretty close, and that's just going to be really fun for people. It's just a fun little degen thing for people to get involved with. I'll be able to add to the prize pot, and then as people get more degenerate with it, the prize pot will get bigger.
Mm.
But that's just like a fun little side thing. Hopefully, I can get that out soon. But the launchpad is one of those things that like it's probably the first thing I haven't gotten too excited about early. Like all the other things I got too excited about, they didn't work out. But this one is like, I was like, okay, I need it to
So
work.
so
Yeah.
the launch pad is something like Pink Sale or something like that, or
Like what? Sorry.
like Pink Sale on other chains, that you can create a coin and then set different things for the pre-sale, or uh, what is it gonna be about?
So it's actually going to be just like really.fun, just like pump.fun. It is gonna have
Okay.
it's gonna have all those features. So every feature that has, we have. However, we have extra features. There's one in particular that some people they sort of know what it is, but it's going to be really cool once you actually get to use it. And we set it up with certain projects. Any creator can use it, but we're going to do a couple of featured projects that sort of show the community exactly how it works, which will be really fun. But yeah, that extra feature is what I think really gives the creator and the investor more. So it gives the creator more opportunity to build community and really launch right before they launch. And
Nice.
it gives the investor a lot more trust,
Confidence. Yeah.
confidence, and risk assessment. So, but at the same time, we don't want to lose out on everything else because obviously the pump.fun audience is huge and there's a lot of money to be made there. So we're not going to miss out on
Yeah.
that. We're still going to capture that because that also brings a lot of people to the website and a lot more users, and it makes things more fun. But we're also going to have opportunity and features there to help with risk assessment, so that you're not always just like, is this a scam? Is it not a scam? You know, you have better. You're never going to know for sure. There are still going to be scams, but you'll have a better risk assessment if you want. So that's going to be really cool. Really, really cool.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, just today on the morning video that I do, uh, typically I used to do it. I record it and then edit and put it up because I was on working, so I didn't have like enough time. Now I start doing lives as well. Now that I can, and people is been asking me. So what I do is typically I check some news and then I do some TA for Nasdaq, S&P,
Yeah.
the USD, and etc. Then Bitcoin, and then some altcoins that the community is asking for, and they are asking me to check Bitget. I don't know if you've seen that. It's an exchange, BDG, that has been
Did something
pumping and
happen with it?
pumping. It's been pumping like I don't know, in the last month, like 350%.
Oh
So
wow.
the the narrative behind is that this exchange, I guess it's on the top 10. I'm not, I haven't looked through it. It's Bitget, and they want to do the same as Binance. So they're doing their own network or blockchain, and they're
Okay.
pumping the coin. So what I mean, I bring this up because people in the chat was saying, yeah, the Bitget, this exchange is just pumping the coin, and at some point they're gonna sell, and everything's gonna crash. So you never know. I mean, I don't think that's gonna be the case, and I wouldn't
Yeah.
invest because it's been pumping so hard
Yeah.
lately.
It
But
depends.
you
It depends
never
on the
know.
narrative. It depends on the how the whales sell. Like,
Yeah.
that's something like for what do you call it? For delay. Like that's something for delay that like that was the first time I ever had something that would really paint the chart red if I was irresponsible. So I I told my girlfriend, I was like, yeah, I finally got like the point that I wanted to get to. And she's like, so you sold it all? I was like, no. like I sold part because I don't like I only I was like, okay, I gotta be responsible, paint it just a little bit so that it has opportunity to keep growing. And
Yeah.
yeah, I also want to add liquidity, but I've never really been in liquidity pools that much. So like I needed a little more research before I do. But I'd like to help support that a little bit.
Yeah, it's very good. I mean, to add liquidity, if you add liquidity from the beginning, it's much better because then your liquidity pool grows, and you start gaining
Mhm.
also a few bucks out of all the transactions. Right now, on this project, I didn't put any money in there, but I mean, it's doing phenomenal. It doesn't
Yeah,
seem like it's gonna stop. So
I figure
yeah,
the more volatility, the more the liquidity
yeah.
like more they make, right? I was trying to research just to see if like too much liquidity would hurt the liquidity pool or whatever it might be, but I don't know.
So
I couldn't really get solid
the only
answers.
problem there is if it start going down. So let's say right now I think it's in 1.2 million or something like that,
Yeah,
the market cap. Let's say you put some liquidity there, and if it start going down, you are at risk of losing your position.
yeah,
Is the impermanent loss thing that it's been there for since
it's
DeFi
risky.
start. When I was speaking with Tim from uh, DeFi Plaza. He was a dev on DeFi Plaza, and right now he's running Astro Lessons. And he was explaining me that in DeFi Plaza, for instance, they have a lot of things to try to avoid the most, though that impermanent loss, and not so much on OsciSwap or other. But I
Hmm.
think here on Radix is less risky to add liquidity versus other networks. But I mean, you have the risk, but it really have to like do a
Hard.
dump, complete
I
dump,
know.
and kill
It's
the
just
project.
it's so annoying seeing like so when I was selling, I was like, oh my god, I'm losing like $500 on this sale. Like the coins are worth this much, but I'm only getting this. I was like, what the? I was still happy with the sell, but I was like, the fuck. So
Yeah,
I'm like, that's
it's always
wild.
the case.
That's
It's
wild.
always the case.
But yeah, I'm like, I want to. I don't know. I want to put one-sided liquidity, but I'm not sure if I want to put XRD if I want to put that coin delay. But I don't know. I'm teetering. I'm like I could put like 100,000 XRD in, and but then if it drops like crazy, so we'll see. I'm still deciding
So what about this project? Who is behind it, or do we know
about delay.
anything? Yeah.
So as far as I know, it's Constantine. And so what kind of happened was, so I bought, and Constantine has been in XRD for a long time, and he's just like a big whale. And I didn't know certain news about him
Okay.
of recent, and so I had bought, and then he bought, and then I got into the other chats, and I was like, hey, like Constantine bought, like this got to be a crazy project, and he just bought a shit ton, and everybody was like, sell, sell, and I was like, what? And they're like, yeah, Constantine had sold like 3.5 million XRD, and he like dumped the XRD chart. Um, and I was like,
Mhm.
oh, okay. But I was like, well, I bought him before him, so I guess I can kind of just wait. But I was like, I kind of made this little comment. I was like, well, I mean, if he locks his XR or his bag
His
of
position.
delay, I was like, I guess that'd be a pretty good move for him because he could do that and then take it out in like a year from now and be worth way too much, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then Charlie, if you've seen him on Telegram, I think he made the suggestion directly to him and got him to do it. And yeah, and then everything else was history from there. It was like, holy shit. Like, but
Nice.
so yeah, that's kind of his history. He's just been a whale. And I think to me, I mean, I think he's got more money than he needs at this moment. But to me, I think this whole thing is kind of his way of gaining back the community, and getting back their love and appreciation. You know, because it doesn't really seem he's got a bag that is locked for the moment,
Mhm.
and apparently he's gonna burn it or give it away to the, I don't know, like I forget what it was, but it really doesn't seem like he's making any profit,
Yeah.
at least that we know of. So to me, it was a little price to pay. Like I think it was
That's
like
good.
maybe $500 at the time, 20,000 XRD, um, maybe 1,000 if he bought more after or whatever. But yeah, it's a small price to pay to if that's what he's trying to do is win back the community. So
Nice.
yeah,
Very good. Yeah. So I wonder what's going to happen with delay once the delays are over. That
I know.
we will hope that as well,
That's what
right?
I
That
was thinking.
to finish with the delays and then right to start pumping. I mean, I think it's gonna be there for. I think it's something like early, right? Is it's here for the community right now,
Yeah,
early, and then delay. It's the same thing. So yeah, very very good. Different, very different projects than you can find on other networks. So that's also good that there is not this same old thing that you find everybody
yeah,
anybody else. So that's good. Uh, what about the Christmas debacle that just
yeah.
happened on Radix? I remember I saw a post from Aussie Swap, and they have this little cat with the Christmas hat and all that thing, and I think they did put Xmas on
Yeah.
that post, and then day before I think I received a coin.
I
I don't know if
received
it
it too.
was
I was
an
like,
NFT
whoa,
or, and I was like,
yeah.
mm. And then
They
I
sent
saw
it
they
to like,
posted, no, that's not us. And I was like,
yeah,
okay, I just stopped trying to look anything about it,
yeah.
and then I found out uh, all these issues. So
It's hard, you know. Like I when I first got into like safe memeing and stuff, I was like every coin that came out, I was addicted to doing it. It was kind of stupid. I didn't know what I was doing, but um, I'd look into it, and you know, if you look at a coin long enough, every one of them is a scam. So and what you end up doing is you you pretty much just start writing off everything as a scam, and you hurt good projects. So I kind of learned to just let people do what they want in the safe memeing, and if there's something that somebody wants me to look into, I'll try to look into it. But when new projects come along, it's like I don't know. I just don't have time to look into them anymore, um and it's hard because you deal with this problem where it's like, okay, if I say it's a scam and it's not a scam, then I just hurt a good project and I possibly hurt people's investments, depending on what it is. I mean, this one obviously wasn't something that people invested in. They just got a free airdrop or were
mm,
supposed to, and that was what pulled them in. Um, but yeah, I didn't really look into it. It looked shady to me just because the website was kind of shitty, and I hadn't heard anybody talking about it before that. Um, so it just seemed too quick and just too flimsy. Like they were just kind of trying to get it out very low effort. And yeah, I guess they got some people. I think one of the biggest problems outside of the fact that that guy lost 50, I think like over 3 million XRD.
oh
Um,
man, oh
just I can't imagine, man. But outside of that, I think one of the big problems was people calling it a wallet drain when it's not a wallet drain. It fucking sucks. It was a it was just yeah, you accepted something that you shouldn't have accepted, and I get it because I have been on Radix for a long time and I have accepted every transaction without looking at them, you know, because I used websites that I trust, and usually I don't know, there just hasn't been anything like this yet, and essentially what it was just a simple trick. It wasn't
Yep.
smart. It wasn't a wallet drain. It was just a simple little trick.
Yeah, because
hoping that
I was hearing like it was very sophisticated and all that stuff, but
no, I mean it's
not really.
sophisticated to somebody who doesn't know how to use Scripto. But if you know how to use Scripto, it's essentially all they did was, as far as I know, is first off they had the airdrop page. They said, hop on there, connect your wallet, and then accept the airdrop. So that means you have to do the transaction. And within the transaction, what you're actually signing is something that says we're going to take all of these assets. So it has like a set amount. So they probably took like all the top assets plus XRD. And then, yeah, so it was just, it would say complex transaction. And if you didn't look at it properly, then you screwed yourself.
Yeah.
Now I don't know if when that transaction popped up, because I never saw the actual manifest of it, but I don't know if it showed like the actual picture of XRD and like say if Edge was in there and delay and early and hug, like if all those were in there. I don't know if it showed it, but like that would have been my first like, whoa, why does it show that?
Yeah, what is
You
it?
know?
What they have to do
Um,
with this? Yeah.
but if it doesn't show that, then it would have shown like a bunch of call methods that would have said like different addresses, and it's like resource addresses, and it's like, why does it say
Mhm.
all these? It's a simple um, it's a simple send transaction. So a transaction like that should only have a very small lines of code where it shows like
Yeah.
this going to your wallet. So it'll show the wallet that it's coming from, what the asset is, and then it's going to your wallet. It should only be like maybe a couple of call methods. And I mean, I don't know technically what it would look like, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it should
Just,
be easier, simpler.
yeah, all I'll say is you gotta be cautious. I'm definitely gonna be more cautious now. And if I'm using a website that I haven't used yet, I'm gonna be, yeah. So
Yeah,
it's
I
just,
mean, and it's there, and it's gonna keep there. I remember at some point after. I mean, I was on the space. I think I had like 4 years or something. So you hear all these different tricks and things that
yeah,
scammers do. And I remember at some point on the last cycle, I got into PancakeSwap. I don't know if you heard that at
yeah. I've
some
heard of
point.
Pancake Spot.
So I got it early, not super early, but I got it like 2.5 ish USD, and it went all the way to 28, and it was giving very good gains. So
Yeah,
I did put uh, good amount of money there, so it was a very good investment. At some point, I remember there was an issue with the website, and it was just like a refresh the website or something like that. So something very simple. And I went into a Telegram group for the project, and I started asking, "Hey, does anybody have any issue like this?" And there's always these admins that contact you
I
outside.
know.
Like,
I got
hey,
that with
no,
Radix,
yeah,
and I was like,
we have this and blah blah blah. And click here, and I was almost stupid enough to click it, and I'm like, no, 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 wait. So
yeah,
I mean, it happens a
yeah,
lot, and you really have to be super careful because
you do.
it's it's crypto, and you have your keys, you have the responsibility, and if it's very easy to get scam here, it's
Yeah,
super easy.
yeah.
So
I would
yeah.
say that, I mean, we haven't had this problem on Radix yet, but I would say that if you have a big bag of anything, um, have an extra wallet where it's got a different seed phrase, and put all of your big items into there. Make sure you save that seed phrase, all that jazz, and then anytime you want to interact with a new website or any website, just send the XRD to that wallet, a new wallet, or a wallet that has less in it, and then interact with the website through there, just so that um, it
Yeah.
can't. As far as I know, I think that if you have another wallet with a different seed phrase, even on the same mobile wallet, that if you interact with another wallet on there, it won't be able to attack your other wallet that you have all your main stuff in. So, I mean, correct me if
You
I'm
mean
wrong,
the
if somebody out
different
there, but
persona, right?
yeah, the persona I don't think really does much, but as long as it's a different wallet, different seed phrase,
Mhm.
they won't be able to get into it. But
Or
that's,
getting
I think,
a hardware wallet. That's the other option. So you
yeah,
can interact with in the hardware wallet connected to your one persona. You have that protected with your biggest holdings, and then on other persona with no hardware wallet connected, you can interact. And if you have the bad the bad luck to click on some place that you shouldn't, then
yeah,
your big back is not touch. So yeah, there's different ways, but there's always we're so lame that we just uh,
I
whatever.
know.
I'm just gonna
I
be
just
using the same one. Oh,
I
fuck.
don't know who it was who did the 3 million one, but I just can't believe it. I just
Man, it
yeah,
should feel really really bad. Bah.
I don't know.
So I see
That's
Diego Greco is saying XRD to $1 this bull.
yeah, I know.
So
Oh,
what
one
what?
dollar. I thought he said 1 cent. I was like, fuck yeah.
what
Honestly,
yeah,
I can see it, man. Like I can see this being the year that we go back to $1. I don't know what after that, but I don't know. I don't know. I kind of see it like I do think XRD will eventually do well. I think that I don't think it'll be. I mean, not in terms of XRD doing well, but I don't know if it'll be this cycle or next cycle. I think that XRD has a possibility to do this with the transactions, but if they can get out the India project quick enough, and they can do their hyperscale test, and they can do the now the thing with
tier
the
one.
next network, yeah, it's like if they can do that all within this cycle, which I doubt that they'll get the network out within this cycle, um, then it could be this year that we see a difference in how the cycles work. Because how we see the cycles work is everything goes up and then it goes down for a year or 2 years, depending. Like you always have the small cycle, but then you have the big cycle. And I
Mhm.
think this year it'll be the big cycle. But eventually, how I see it is, we got what 2-3% of the world's finance on crypto. Eventually,
Last
it's
time
gonna.
it was 7% now.
Is it 7% now? Okay,
Yeah,
good. So eventually, that's gonna quickly move, right?
yeah,
And I think at that point it's going to be because we have a network that has the ability to take on the world's finance, so it has enough transactions per second and security, and just all that kind of jazz. Radix has the possibility to do that. Is it going to be Radix? Is it going to be another one? I don't know. But what I see happening is we're going to come across a cycle where that's possible, and the cycle is not going to end, and it's just going to
yeah,
keep going, and the in-betweens are going to be a lot shorter, and we're not going to experience like a whole 6 months of bear before we see a little bit of bull, and then bear before we see a little bull, and then bear, and then boom, and then again, like it's just
yeah,
going to keep going. And yeah, I think people
yeah.
who are like
There's mass
really
adoption.
invested,
Yes.
yeah, I think people who are really invested, like that's the thing that keeps them in like the end of March, end of April sort of period, when you're like, okay, every year it's gone down. Why am I holding? I think that's why. I think some people are like, this might be the year. This might be the year. And that's,
Yeah.
$1 million could turn into $500 million. You don't. So
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So just doing TA. Basically, I like a lot to see the when I see the altcoins, I use Fibonacci retracement.
Hmm.
I love that tool, and there are some other things, but with Fibonacci retracement, if it's a very simple tool to use, you just put where is the all-time high, what is the all-time low, and it gives you, okay, here are the levels in between
Yeah.
the all-time high and the all-time low, and then the extensions.
It's called
So
Fibonacci
it's yeah. Let me. I can show you here. Let me.
retracement.
Um,
It's a website, or is it just
well,
the
I just let me share my screen very quickly. All right, I'm gonna add this, and then let me remove this thing, and let me go here to Radix. Give me 1 second so I can show you what I'm seeing. Oh, no, 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 no. Look, this is TradingView. It's just basically a tool to do TA with a lot of different things. Been using this
okay.
for a long, long time. So here I have a weekly chart uh, with the all-time high on 6.66. This is the all-time high that it was marked, not on Gate.io, but this is, I would say, the farther I have. If you go to CoinMarketCap, then you can see this all-time high, and around this time ish. So this Fibonacci, what it does, let me remove it. Basically, you take it's a tool that you put here on the all-time high, and then you put it all the way to the all-time low, in this case being 0.013 or something like that. And then it gives you these levels: the red, yellow, green. All these are within the Fibonacci sequence, different levels of support and resistance that it's going to go through during the starting phase when it starts going up. So at some
Mhm.
point on the next months, I would say we're going to be hitting this 0.66. There is the all-time high, but then it's very common. I mean, I've been doing this for 7 years, and I've seen this through a lot of altcoins. It's very common that an altcoin that doesn't perform super nice, super well, it hits here, this second extension, Fibonacci extension. So
Mm.
after the all-time high, this is one extension, and this is a second extension. We have 7 extensions. So this is something that is not super difficult to achieve doing TA, just doing TA, not hearing about all
No,
the
this is
tech
great.
and all that stuff. So if we see here, once we break up the all-time high, that I think it's going to happen through the next 6 months. If we just go to the first Fibonacci extension, we're speaking 1.1 USD. If we go to the second one, that I think it is not hard to achieve, we we are on 1.76 dollars per XRD. So this is really something that it can happen. And we can check. I don't know. Let's check Cardano, that I like to compare a lot with Cardano on the previous cycle. Mm, no, this chart is not gonna help. Where Coinbase, no. Maybe on Kraken, no. Not a lot of history. Mixi, no. There's not a lot of history. Let me take Ethereum for to do this example. This is the last cycle. Let me remove this EMI ribbon, and I'm gonna remove this. So we have the all-time high, the all-time low from the previous cycle, and I do the same thing. I just put here the Fibonacci, and then I do it like this, and you see this was the all-time high. Where did it go? To the third one. So it went to the first extension, second extension, third extension. And if you do this with most of the
Hmm.
coins, you can see that at least it touches the first one, and it's common to touch the second one. And with really explosive coins like Solana, it goes through the 7, and it breaks the 7th. So
Yeah.
that's why I think $1 is, it's like a given,
Yeah.
not financial advice, but it's
No,
like a
that's how I see
given.
it too.
And 1.8, I think it's achievable to
I
happen
think
this.
I think if it does hit one, you'll see a lot of people who have been in Radix for a long time who are gonna dip because they're like finally it hit $1 and they're gonna sell
Yes.
and they're gonna regret it because
Yeah.
I
And
think that if it hits, it's gonna.
if it hits, so and that's why the levels, and there's support and resistance levels, because there is these levels where people tend to buy or sell. And in this
Yeah.
case, if we recall, the first extension Fibonacci, it was on 1.1. So it's normal that whenever it hits there, when you hit a very important level, you have a retracement. And that would be the case, right? It hit the $1, everybody is like, fuck it, I'm gonna sell. Then you have a retracement, but
Yeah.
then it can push
If
back
you
to
if you
break
can
that
make
one.
it past that $1 and not sell, that it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard. There's gonna be people who are gonna be like, fuck, it's they're gonna look on their bag. But
Yeah.
if you can make it past that, there's a good chance that like you're gonna make some really good money.
Yeah. And when I did the last time that I did an exercise with XRD to compare with other market cap, there is one page that I like to use. It calls market cap off, so that you can put I want to compare by my market cap this
Yeah.
project with this other project. So if I did that versus Solana, with the market cap of Solana right now, not thinking what Solana can perform on the bull market, I think it was like an XRD of $6.5, something like that. I don't think it's gonna happen this cycle,
Hmm.
because I mean, we still don't have that strength to really compete with Solana at this point. But when there is more adoption, and the network really need to be hyperscale, then I
Yeah.
think by that time we can compete with Solana, and it's not going to be $6 because the market cap just keep growing up. So
Yeah.
it's going to be much more. So yeah, it's
It's gonna be
interesting.
crazy.
Yes.
And you know what, the smartest thing that I think that the foundation is doing right now is, because one of the biggest things that people got pissed about is, like, the institutions, and like there's no
Yes.
degeneracy, right? And obviously, um like they're being too professional or whatever it might be, right? Because you see stuff like Solana and Ethereum and all that, and they're doing super well. They have a shit ton of degenerates on there. That's what moves the markets, at least right now. And and Radix is kind of, as everybody knows, thinking towards the future. But they're
Yeah.
like, it's hurting my bag now, But
Yes.
what what I think they're doing is they are remaining as professional as possible so that they can bring on the institutions, they can get that India deal, they can do stuff like that. And then they're using, because they have all the grant money out there for projects to build on Radix. That
Yeah.
grant money, most of what I see that grant money going to is more degenerate projects, more projects like pump.fun projects. They wanted really.fun, Raccoon, I'm sure they've got it. There was Ape Wave, stuff like that, stuff that brings in the degeneracy and the gambling and the fun that the people want right now. However, when they give that grant money, they wipe their hands clean. They can advertise it in a sense,
Hmm.
but on paper, they really don't have any full connection to it. They just supported it with the grant money. So it doesn't hurt their image to any institutions that they want to
Yeah.
bring on, right? So
Yeah.
to me, I think that's the smartest thing they're doing, because that is, although it looks like it's happening slowly, there's a lot going on in the background where those projects are building and they're getting support, and XRD is able to remain professional and work out these other deals with cloud services and with India and with all that kind of crap, right? So it's all just bubbling up, and they've got their own sides,
Hmm.
and they're connected, but not on paper ish.
Yeah, and it's slower, but it's gonna be good. That's why I like to compare with Cardano, because Cardano always seems to feel like slow,
Mm-hmm.
in terms of everything, and also in terms of price, but it's performing well. I mean, it's a good chain at the end, but Radix is faster
Yeah.
and much better right now. So yeah, we need to be patient. There is a saying that says, money goes from impatient hands to patient hands. So it's the best advice that I can give, given my 7 years of experience.
Yeah.
Patience pays off. That's it.
Yeah, man. I mean, that trade that I made on delay, fucking hell, man. I'm happy now. That's all I wanted. I wanted about that much, and I I probably won't, like, I've got a bunch of other coins that I have, and I was like, oh, always thinking like I want to move them around, do this and that. I might just kind of let them sit now, because I'm happy with
Yep.
my XRD bag, and I'm like, I'm just gonna let them sit, see what happens. I might. I've got a good early one. I want to put more in Hug, just because I have a decent amount, but I really want to support Hug. So I want to put more in. And then, yeah, like mocks and stuff like that I've got. It's
Yeah.
just I'm gonna let them sit, see what happens. If they go to zero, they go to zero. But I'm happy with my XRD bag, so
Yep.
not going to be a lot of selling from my side.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
All right, so we have a little bit more than an hour. So thank you very much for your
yeah.
time. I don't know if you have anything else you want to share, for your
Um,
project or anything.
yeah. So I guess really quick, I'll just talk about the launchpad.
Yep.
Like I have been very vague with stuff because there's just certain stuff I can't talk about yet. But the way that it's kind of going to work for anybody who's interested and doesn't know what EDGE or EDGE Club is yet, first off, EDGE is our token. There won't be another token that we make. You can both stake your XRD to our validator, or you can stake your EDGE, and both of those will give you EDGE as rewards, and the validator currently gives you, I think, about 3.75 or something. I'd have to check it again, but APY just from the XRD. The EDGE is way bigger. But when the launchpad comes around, there's a good possibility that we're going to be able to make a good amount of money, and there will be part of the revenue that will go back towards EDGE stakers and validator stakers. So there's really good opportunity for you to make money there. Do your own research, but the way that it's going to sort of go with the website is we're going to be launching, as far as I know right now, there's no delays, but we're going to be launching the first 2 weeks of January. So as soon as everybody's back from holiday, I'm going to start pushing everything a little bit more. So we're going to be launching, and the way that it's going to work, and the way that I see it working, is we're going to be able to have a nice intro, just like really.funded, very nice intro to the network. It's gonna go well the way that I see it going, and we're going to be able to sort of have that initial pump of people using it, an influx of volume, and then I think we're going to flatline a little bit. Just like not exactly that really.fun isn't active. It's just compared to its first days, you've seen it flatline a little bit. They're still doing well though. But that's just because the way things work is, even though we have those extra features, these websites require larger communities, and that's what we need. So the way that I look at this initial launch is, to you guys, it'll be the launch. But to me, it's still a test. We're going to be observing a lot, and we're going to be using that to understand what we need to fix or adjust slightly while we work on another large feature that we have coming after launch. And once that is open and ready, which should be about 3 to 4 weeks after launch, I just want to be conservative with that. Once that happens, that's going to be the full website that I believe is when you'll start seeing a lot more. And we have a lot of, marketing is something that people are going to be asking a lot of questions about. We're working on the marketing side, but one of the major feature that we have that I haven't told anybody yet, it opens up these collaborations with other networks. That's going to allow us to market to large communities, and it's going to cost them nothing to participate. And they're going to be able to get airdrops, just like you guys will be able to get airdrops through participating in this feature. So it opens up a lot of opportunity for us to interconnect with every community out there that we possibly can. And after the first couple of collaborations, it's just going to ramp up, because if those go well, more communities are going to want to participate. More communities are going to want to get those airdrops. So that's what we're kind of looking at. That's how I kind of see it going. It might fluctuate a little bit from there. And then, that's kind of the major stuff. There's a few extra features that will be implemented along the way. One is really cool. I'm going to have a talk with, it's somebody from Radix. I'm going to have a talk with him soon, because we were going back and forth on how we could do it, because it was like something that could benefit edge holders, but doesn't really benefit creators on our site. So we're kind of in discussion on how to implement it the best way, and that'll be something that'll be quickly put onto the site after launch. I won't say it yet, just because we haven't gotten the exclusive deal yet, but we're going to be making hopefully an exclusive deal with them, give them a portion of site revenue, so that we can have that on our site. It's nothing crazy. It's something you guys have done before, but it's something that I want to be exclusive on ours as quickly as possible. So I won't mention that, just because we haven't signed any deals yet.
Then someone else take it.
yeah. But it's looking good. We got a lot of stuff coming, and just know that if it launches and we see an initial pump and then things kind of level out, that's
normal.
It's normal for right now, and that we have plans. We have a lot of plans, and that just look at it like a test. Look at it like a StokeNet test on the mainnet, where all the bugs are fine. We're not testing for bugs. The bugs will be okay. Aaron is a1 stake of a developer.
Yeah.
He's good. So yeah, that's all I got to say.
Very nice.
Yeah.
I do have a question. What about the logo? Why the soap?
Oh, the soap. Yeah. So the way that started out was Fight Club. Fight Club. It's got the pink soap.
Yeah.
So I kind of was just like, where was I didn't really know what I was doing at first, and I was like, okay, I kind of like that, and I made that image. I got it to say Edge Club, and then um, I incorporated the. It was just because I said to edge or not to edge, and I was like, oh, the Shakespeare's funny. So then it's kind of been like this pink soap and Shakespeare the entire time. I I I'm telling you, I would have changed the image of the token a long time ago if I would have been able to. I didn't put that in the token requirement, so I can't
Okay.
change the image. So I've had to stick with both. But that's just what it is. So it's been that,
That's
and then
good.
like yeah, when I made the Telegram, I when you click in the Telegram and you join, you have to agree to the rules, and the rules are all the Fight Club rules, but with edging. So it's like only 2 men to an edge, no shoes, no shirt, like kind of shit like that.
Yeah.
You don't talk about Edge Club.
Nice.
But yeah, that's kind of the culture of it, I guess.
That's
Yeah,
very good. Thanks a lot. Thanks for your time,
of course,
for
man.
explaining everything that's coming to Edge. As you were saying, you don't have to run like in the next minute, but you have some
You
time
got time. You got
to
time.
start getting your
Yeah,
back, or just take your XRD and start getting touch with Edge. So it's looking very good. I'm
yeah.
glad that we did this talk, because yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
man, this is really
and
fun.
it's what I'm loving for this doing this exercise, because you get to know all different projects and different minds and what
Oh
is
yeah,
going through, and it's super nice. Something that Andres Leon, the dev that is helping us, told me is think outside of the box, because in Radix you can do things that you cannot do in other networks. So
yeah.
that's very good.
It's
All right.
great. I think one of the big things that'll come. I'll say this really quick. Either Beam will get it out there, because obviously he has the vesting part of Radlock that he wants
Mhm.
to do. It's just he's trying to get around it. But there's a few things that the network doesn't quite have that are required to make it smooth. But he might be able to get around it. But there's also somebody else who's trying to do something similar too. But it's just like imagine vesting in a trustless world, and essentially, like if you're an online website or online company, you could have hundreds of employees and pay them in a trustless manner, and have a bunch of different use cases and things that make sure that everybody is safe, both parties. So there's something like that that'll come along, and I think it'll come along once financially everything really takes off. But you'll see something pop up, I think, within the next year, and people will be like, oh, that's cool, it works. It's not super useful. And then you'll see like a big company come on and they'll be like, oh, this is perfect, we want to use it. And then you'll
Yeah.
see like, holy shit, like this is actually a really useful tool. So there's a lot you can do. And that was one of the things that I wanted to do. I'll say that really quick. That was one of the projects that I was trying to initially work on. And I was like, I've got 2 apps that I'm trying to work on. One's Launchpad and one's this, before I found Aaron, and I completely went towards the Launchpad because I was like, okay, wait, I'm gonna have a call with Beam. And I called Beam and I was like, hey, so I've got this thing that I've been thinking through and talking to some people and making sure we can do it right. But I want to know, like, what are you doing? And it was just so similar that I was like, I'm gonna stop.
Yeah.
You do it. I'm not gonna try to do it. I'm gonna work on my other D app and just focus on that.
Yep.
So yeah, there's so much you can do that you can't do on other networks.
Nice.
But yeah,
The account
yeah,
deletion and things like that, that
yeah,
doesn't happen anywhere else. So yeah. So guys, we're early. We're in a very good spot right now,
oh
and
yeah,
we still have time to get XRD and get a lot of the, the top coins of the ecosystem, and you're gonna do well. Believe me, it's not financial advice, but you're gonna do well. So thank you very
oh yeah.
much, To you first, thanks for your time, for being here on a Sunday. It's not easy to have people want to do
Doesn't even
this
feel
on
like
Sunday.
Sunday. I'm not gonna lie. I'm so
Yeah.
the holidays have messed me up.
Oh yeah, it's all messed up. But well, thanks anyway. Thank you very much, and
Oh,
we'll keep in touch. We will be speaking via Telegram, or I will be more active on the spaces that you guys have as well,
yeah, always jump
because
in, man.
now we have more time available to do this. So
Yeah,
thanks for everybody that is watching and that is gonna be watching later. I'm gonna add the link tree that you sent me also
nice,
to the video, so that everybody can just go
cool.
to the description and click in there. So
Yeah, and
thanks
if anybody
everybody.
goes on our Twitter, I just realized the other day, and I haven't switched it yet, but our pinned tweet has the wrong
Mhm.
Telegram
Okay.
thing. So use the link tree. I'm gonna unpin that tweet and put a new tweet up very soon. So
Yeah, just
yeah,
just put the link tree in
yeah,
in X, and that's it. All right.
sweet.
Well, thank you very much, and see
Thank
you on
you.
the next one.
Yeah,
Bye
thank you for
bye.
having me, man.
Thank you.
Bye.